It's like a university of yourself, if you will, is this programme where you learn so much about yourself and about how you think and how you act and how you behave.
Well, I just found it amazing. It was for me. It tests you, it does. It gets to the core of what your problem is.
It teaches you how to deal with emotions that everyone else deals with normally, that we use drugs to cover up and mask.
It's tough, and you will hear things that you don't want to hear, but it's all part of the programme.
But you've got to keep your arse on that seat, because I got through it. Yeah, it was tough. You get grilled, they strip you to the bones.
In the first 2 weeks, I was a bit nervous. I couldn't open up at all, and I thought they're never going to get anything out of me. Not a prayer. And they're never going to change me, because that's how I felt inside. And I was broken, and I was unfixable.
And it's not only through D.E.A.P has given me the chance to be a proper human being.
I mean, number of ding-dongs we've had in here, it's been brilliant, you know. It's best way for someone to pick out a defect in my character is to challenge me.
It's doing these assignments have really helped me. It's made me think about what I have done.
Once you open up, you'll feel that baggage lift right off your shoulders. It's fantastic. I started drinking when I was about 14 years old, so that's been the best part of 45 years I've been drinking.
My drinking got worse when I met my husband, because when I was younger I didn't drink a lot, only went out with friends. Met my husband, he worked in a pub, he was a manager, and as time's gone on, it gradually got worse and worse. Instead of drinking at weekends, I ended up drinking every night.
I've been in addiction for 21 years. I started when I was 16.
I've been addicted to one form of chemical or another for the last 40 years, basically. Alcohol was a massive one, basically all the 40 years, but I was into hard drugs, heroin, crack cocaine, amphetamine.
I found myself in a vicious cycle of behaviours and actions that were making me mentally disturbed, paranoid, and getting me in a lot of trouble with the police.
I've been an addict probably from being about 14. There was stuff that went on in my childhood that has been the problem, that has been the cause of my addictions over the years.
I'd be thinking, right, kids have got to go to bed at 7 o'clock. So I'd be like rushing them, come on, time to go to bed, you've got to go to bed now, it's time to go to bed. So I was down for 7 o'clock to watch Emmerdale and have my first drink.
Nothing good ever happened or came from it. You know, I lost my driving licence, I lost my job, I lost my wife and three kids. Had seen me, my kids had just known nothing but me drinking.
I kind of went through a midlife crisis, really. Me and my wife, Christine, we'd been together for 26 years, we'd been married, and I turned my back on her. And grass rose green on the other side, I had money. And that change there in me affected her in such a way that she went through depression and alcoholism too. And she never drank before that. And 3 years later she hung herself. And like I was devastated with that, you know, and I blame myself. Kids were devastated. It left us all numb and felt and a lot of questions, a lot of questions unanswered. If only I could have done this, and what if I'd done that?
I was still working, so I was still functioning, but there was telltale signs of my health was deteriorating. I wasn't looking myself, I wasn't acting myself.
It was my body as well. My body was telling me I was 7 stone. I was really ill, I was yellow, constant pain from my liver and kidneys.
I just thought, I want my first drink. And I felt so terrible thinking, God, they're young kids and I'm rushing them to bed. So it affected me kids more than anything. More than anything, it affected me kids.
And I weren't thinking how kids were coping or anybody, and my company went bump, I don't know, about 15 months later, because I weren't paying attention to it, and that it hurt, you know.
Mum and Dad didn't give a shit if I drank, not drank, been taking drugs, don't care.
I was cruel and I was heartless, and I wasn't the person that I knew. I'd been robbed of myself, it had robbed me of everything, and then I got myself into serious trouble. I'd always been good. Well, I had no criminal record whatsoever. I'm not going to go into detail about what I did, but I ended up losing my liberty for 7 years.
I think I was in A&E something like 28 times in a 6 week period.
I'd hit rock bottom. The only further down I could go was another 6 foot under. So I'd hit rock bottom, and without anybody pressurising me or anything, I realised I had to do something about this.
It was just miserable, and I couldn't see a way out until I came to Horizon, and it took some time.
Under Horizon, I went 2 months sober, and I obviously lapsed. And I got back into Horizon and just said, look, I need help. Saw a counsellor at Dixon Road, very well, key worker, and she was very strict with me. I think that's what I needed, was somebody to say, look, please have together.
What brought me to Horizon was one particular night I'd probably drank a whole bottle of gin, and I woke up the following morning and my daughter came in my bedroom and she just broke down, and I didn't know what had happened. My face was a mess, there was bruises, I couldn't move my shoulder, and I'd fallen downstairs and I hadn't realised I'd smashed my face on the cupboard at the bottom of the stairs, and I could have died.
I was in a really dark place. I was suicidal, had mental health problems, and that's kind of what brought me through the doors here.
I wanted to get rid of the hard drugs, the crack and heroin, so I came to D.E.A.P.
Mainly thought, do it for me and do it for the kids. I want to see the kids growing up. I don't want to be in a wooden box in 2 years' time for whatever. I just want to see my kids grow up.
It was someone out of an NA group who recommended she'd been through it, and never looked back since, really.
I self-referred and I had to wait for a bed in detox. I was put on the ramp, the ramp programme, to reduce in a safe possible way, because I was told that you cannot just stop. I knew I couldn't just stop anyway. I didn't have it in me, but I tried to reduce, and I'm ashamed to say I couldn't. However, I stuck with it, and I got my bed in detox in Lancaster.
I was on the ramp programme over the road, and I spoke to Joe this day. It got to the point where my using and drinking was really starting to take its toll, and I was in a dark place, and as luck would have it, that day Angela was coming over to speak to us about the programme over here, which I didn't really know much about. And as soon as she walked in, I knew that's where I needed to go, and that's where I would get some real help dealing with these things.
I went to Dixon Road and I saw one of the key workers there, Sean, and he told me about the programme, D.E.A.P. So I thought I'd give it a go, and then that's what brought me to D.E.A.P.
Saw a counsellor at Dixon Road. I thought, I've got to stick to it. I've got to get my head together and stop the drinking. So I just stopped, and that was April of last year. And I thought, I'm not going back.
And I started on ramp course across road, and then on to pre-D.E.A.P and then D.E.A.P.
And then I got referred to pre-D.E.A.P and D.E.A.P. Totally nervous, still had the DTs, very anxious. Started D.E.A.P 12 weeks ago, and it's changed me dramatically.
The tough one for me was doing my life story. Doing it, even thinking about it now, I can feel myself getting upset, because I had to go back to my childhood, and I had to bring up, I was sexually abused by my two brothers, bullied by my parents, and Angela wanted me to do it again, and I said no, there's no way, because there's bits you've missed out there, you've not told your full life story, but I couldn't do it again, because it is very tough. And so Angela made me write a letter to my brothers and read it out in group, and that was tough as well. But I felt better after doing that letter to my brothers.
The hardest was my life story, because we're told to put things in there. If you don't feel like you want to put them in. And it brought back memories that I'd stashed away and forgotten. And as hard as some of them memories are, it's reality, and you need that.
The life story was definitely one of the most significant pieces. It really, it's the first chance I've been given to really explain my side of the story, or my life story, to anyone. And it was very therapeutic to have others listen to it and to be counselled on it. It helped me deal with a lot of resentments from my past. It's like a weight being lifted off my shoulders, or it's more like having a weight deep inside me that I was carrying around, or say a load of luggage that I was lugging around with me everywhere, and it just felt, it gave me a feeling of freedom, really. Like it says above the door, freedom. That was when I really started to understand the programme and what the programme's about and how it is helping me.
Doing my life story in the D.E.A.P programme, that's what turned everything around for me. My mum dying when I was 7 was probably the start of everything, because I lost my mum. In a way, losing my mum had stopped the abuse, because it was from my stepfather. So I got away from that.
Because they asked me to get a letter off a close relative and get them to write in what you were like when you've been drinking. And she did me daughter. She was quite brief, but I knew exactly where she was coming from, you know. She felt lonely. She was frightened. She was lonely because I weren't there during the teens. You know, I was there drinking. She was embarrassed about bringing her friends round or anybody round to around home, you know, because she was ashamed of me.
My son, he sent a letter in, and I didn't realise how lonely he felt not having his mum in his life. Because everything seemed to be focused around Danielle and Stephanie, his sisters. It broke his heart, and he was on his own. He had no one to talk to, and I should have been there listening to his problems.
One that sticks out is the where you look at yourself in the mirror and you stare at yourself. And I didn't like what I was seeing back. I wasn't looking at me. You know, like if you have a shave, you look in the mirror. I was looking right into the back of my head, into my brain, into my soul. And I didn't like what I was seeing. From then, it seemed to be a turning point. I was taking it deep, serious to a degree, but that changed me then. I started to knuckle down and help people as well as them helping me.
What I found here that were different is I changed my attitude. Changed that stubbornness and that self-will into determination to get the job done and finished in a way that benefits me and people around me that I love.
It's been brilliant. It's changed my life completely. It's opened up so many doors for me, and it's given me my life back.
Well, I've already mentioned my daughter and my son too. My son lives in London and just gets on with it, you know. I don't have much contact with my son, but still love him, you know. But my daughter, I see her now. She brings my granddaughter round to see me. I go to them. I spent Christmas with them.
I mean, like, my kids have allowed me back in their lives after 10 years. Family's great again. Got a good relationship. I'm a pet owner now, a responsible cat. Got a lovely home right on the seafront. 4 college courses I'm doing at the moment.
But I've seen people now, my mother-in-law, she says I look so good. And I've seen other people, God, you look great, Carol, what, you know. So I says I've just stopped drinking.
It's just changed everything about me, the way I think, the way I act, like I said before, and the way I'm learning as well.
Well, I've never given birth, but it's like giving birth and you go through the pain and the agony. I'm sure you do anyway, I can't. And then once you give birth, you see a new life. That's me now. I've gone through the pain and the agony. I can see a new life, a new future, a future with a purpose. That purpose for me is to live every day and be the best I can be.
It's given me a chance to actually live, and I can see now that I was just existing before, whereas now I live a proper life, a productive life, a happy life. I'm connected with others. I have a massive friends network, and I'm able to go out there with my head held high, look people in the eye, and be myself rather than trying to wear a mask.
So I'm 27 weeks now, sober. I've still got my job, which work have been totally amazing with me. And I've got my children back, which is the main thing in my life.
It was day after day after day I was spent isolated, and just in 6 months I go on coach trips, right, with a friend from one of my peers. One of my peers comes with me.
I've been now sober for 4 months, and I've been happiest in this last 4 months than I ever have been in the last 20 years.
I'm making up now. I'm doing loads of childcare qualifications. So I can, because my little boy's autistic, so I'm just doing an autism course now, so I can see where he's coming from.
What's his name?
Lucas.
Angela said to me, what are your values? And one of them were family and what have you. So she said, well, what are you doing about it? And I said, well, a little lot, you know, about my siblings, because a few of them are still alive. And so I ring them up every fortnight now. I remember their birthdays and send them a card. I send them all Christmas cards. My sister come from Lincolnshire to come and visit me and her husband. I mean, she's in her 70s, you know. And just to say how well I'm doing and how proud they all are. And it's just really great feedback off my family, who I haven't spoken to for years, my brothers and sisters.
My sister and my little baby niece will be coming along, hopefully. She's only just been born, but working D.E.A.P has helped them come back into my life, my family. I now have a great relationship with all my family.
I'm going to say thanks to Dottie, mother-in-law. She's been such good help since she knew about me being an alcoholic, so thank you very much, Dottie. You're the best mother-in-law that anybody could ever have, and I would love to call you Mum, because you're the best.
I'd like to thank my family for persevering with me and being patient and allowing me back into their lives.
Yeah, well, I really want to thank my daughter for putting up with me all this time, and her family. I'm really proud of you.
Georgia, you'll be there, even if I have to pay for your day off. That'll make everything if Georgia's there.
Most of all, I'd like to say thank you to the person that I feel that I've hurt most of all in my life and who's never ever turned away, and that's my mum, because without you, Mum, I don't know where I'd be now. So I love you, thank you.
Thank you to Duncan, my husband. I know he's still drinking, but he's there, he's with me. So what matters?
Everyone at D.E.A.P, pre-D.E.A.P and RAMP, Angela for supporting me and sticking by me.
Angela Goodfellow, for that chance meeting at NA. You've been through the D.E.A.P programme and you recommended it. I'll be eternally grateful for that, Angie, because I've never looked back since.
I'd like to thank Darren, Joe and Stan for helping me along the way.
And a massive thank you to the other Angie who does volunteering, a bright, bubbly character. Since leaving D.E.A.P, we've formed a good friends relationship, going to football matches and stuff, haven't we? That's amazing.
I'd just like to thank Scott and Judy as well, because they've been brilliant. They've been brilliant.
Most amazing one, definitely, is Angela. If it wasn't for you, Angela, you really, you sussed me out from the start, and you made me what I am today.
And to Angela and Craig and Darren and Stan here at Horizon, and of course my peers who helped me get through this and give me some right shitty bloody challenging, but thank you my peers, I really do appreciate it.